Alright guys, I know it's been a while. I do have a lot of videos I'm trying to make. It's just not working out well for me. And I took a vacation, so cut me some slack, okay? Today I'm over at Premium and I'm working on a 2007 Holiday Rambler Endeavor. And this will hopefully be a quick video with a problem as fairly as unique to these Holiday Ramblers and Monaco products. Let's take a look at it. It may not appeal to too many people, but it's something I've run into a lot, and I found an easier way to repair it. Let's take a look. So the issue is going to be these sunshades, these side visors. These are just spring-loaded. They're not electric. This is how it's supposed to work. We'll see. Just down and then back up. Hey, look, that one doesn't work either. So I guess I'm doing two. So it's just supposed to be tension back up. God. All right. Hey. Okay. Well, we can do this. What happens is there's just a roller shade with a frame on it. You can see that back there. The axle on the torsion spring is too tight, and it actually just grips the hub. So it'll make a lot more sense if I pull it down and we take a look at it. Now I'll grant you this is a very specific video because not too many manufacturers use this shade. I couldn't tell you who even makes it. But to take it down is pretty easy. Just got the 4 screws, 2 on each side, and the whole thing will come down. Then we'll take it apart at that point. So I guess we'll just take the screws out. Look at that, 1 screw. All right, we'll just put it down right here. Probably should have put that on the other way. Close up these blinds so maybe you can see something a little bit better. Okay. So I have seen people replace these entire shades because of this issue, or like I said, I don't even know if these are made anymore. The issue is on the torsion. There's a this axle that's part of the torsion spring. It's supposed to spin around that plastic hub right in there freely, but what happens is repeated use, the clearance is really tight, and it melts the plastic, and then the hole in the plastic actually shrinks, and so now you have a friction right there. So all I have to do is take this apart and drill out that hole. Sounds simple enough. I think these are, just to spite us, number 1 square bits. Number 1. Sorry. There's my number 1. Okay. So when we take this off, you see this side is has a D on it, and so it has a flat side. And this side is just perfectly round. Focus. So there you go. See how it's perfectly round? So this is the idler side. So this side we're not too worried about. But this side, when we take those 2 screws out, it's going to be spring loaded, so just be expecting that. So we can actually just pull it out now. So now it's completely loose. And look at that. This is what I'm talking about right there. That should be spinning wildly right now under spring tension, but it's not. But let's go get a pair of pliers. Don't lose these screws. Why would you lose these screws? Put them there, that's where they're safe. Put them next to the bracket where they're safe. We've pulled this out. You can see that torsion spring actually has quite a bit of tension on it. So if I pull it out all the way, it's still not spinning. Do is take that C-clip off, and then this will get pushed through, and then it'll spin, right? All right, so the C-clip's off. There's that washer. Don't lose that washer. Okay. Getting close to it, right? Got that there. Put that there. All right, they're all safe now. Now, if I were to pull... All right, see. Now it wants to come undone. So there we go. Just pulling it out right there. All right, so now all the tension's off of it. So that hole is just too small now. There's too much friction on it. So we just have to drill it out. But I did learn this the hard way. because what holds that spring on is that plastic tab inside. So you can only go a little bit bigger. If you go too big, you'll break that lip right there, and then nothing holds the spring on. So we'll just drill it out. All right, so what I have are a few drill bits here. This is quarter inch. Quarter inch is way too big. We don't want to go that big. 3/16 fits in there almost perfectly, so that's too small. So just go a little bit bigger with 13/64, and we'll just drill that out. Put it in the drill and drill it out. You don't have to disconnect it. Just pull the spring up and just drill it out. And hold on to this with pliers as you're drilling. All right, so I just finished drilling it out. I just pull up on it as I'm doing it, hold it with pliers, and go straight. Don't go crooked, because like I said, that lip inside that holds on to the spring is pretty thin already. But if you'll notice how easily this slides in and out and can spin around. We could add some grease, but you don't need to. So now we just have to put the washer and the C-clip back on. Here's the washer. And the C-clip. We just need to feed this back in. There's a little notch in the tube there. And a corresponding notch on this cap. All right. So what I'm going to do is actually roll this thing back up, rather than trying to do it, extend it out like that. This framing right here, all it does is give it some body. So if you have it down, driving down the road, it doesn't just swing wildly with the breeze as you turn. It doesn't actually help it up or down. It's all just a roller shade. So look at that, all collapsed. So this we need to feed back in. So that side's just back in. And this side, we get the screws and that bracket. And this is where we have to decide which way do we spin this torsion. So if we're pulling it down, right, the tube's rolling that way, and we want it to roll back up. So we want to add tension that way. Yeah, that way. And if you do it wrong, then I guess you repeat it. So we want it to be able to pull up, but we don't want it to roll up on its own. So it needs to hold itself in place. So I usually start with about 10 and then try it out and find out if that was good enough. There we go. Now I just put the screws in. That's a two-handed job. Give me a second. All right, so there it is. Let's see. So pass the first test. Stays in place. I wish I could do the second test, but one-handed is very difficult. All right, so it comes down just fine and stays in place. I'll just use the table to roll it back up. So there it is. Look at that. We fixed it. Let's put it back into place using our 4 screws we took out and put it back in there. Okay, with the last screw, grab that hook. Where you at? There you are. Hold that down. It stays down. Lift it up. Look at that. Smooth as can be. Look at that. I imagine these are about $50 to $100 with shipping. So save that at least $50 to $100 with shipping. So we got one more to do. Same thing all over again. Well, there you have it, guys. I changed that. I didn't change anything out. Stupid. I repaired that roller sunshade on a 2000. Man, I gotta get my mind checked. 2007 Holiday Rambler Endeavor. It's a very specific video. I can't imagine too many people actually needing this, but it's a quick one I could put together for you guys to see that show that I am doing something. I really appreciate all the comments that I'm getting. It really inspired me to keep making these. I hope you enjoy them, and hopefully the next video will be a little bit more in depth with something useful. If you have any questions, little comments, email me, and I'll do my best to help you. Thanks a lot, guys. Focus. One more thing. don't use a unibit to widen that hole. A friend told me it causes problems. The steps aren't long enough, and you start making the hole in the hub too big, but you still haven't drilled out all the way through the cap, and then eventually you need to do a new one. So don't use a unibit. Just a small bit, work your way up. Don't try to do it all in one pass, just because, again, it's very thin material that you're going through where the spring hooks up. All right, that's time for sure. Oh, one more thing. I found about 17 turns. It was about the pristine spot, the sweet spot, I guess you would call it. This time for sure. Focus. Focus. Are you gonna focus?